Hey all, Hipper here. So we're back in the Giulio Cesare here, and if you enjoy this video, don't forget to like, share, and of course subscribe. So this ship here is probably, well, more than probably, it is the best tier 4 battleship you can possibly get. And with the new Italian precision commanders, this is a deadly ship. So let's just have a look at my setup here. I'm using the premium commander, the Littorio at 16.3. I have Cunningham and Scharnhorst as inspirations. And all the perks are all about damage and precision, and as well as will to rebuild. So you get all the good stuff with this commander here. She's really good. Aiming systems mod 1 on the ship. There's nothing else really to pick. 3 repair parties, 3 secondary targeting, and 16-4 range is not a great range, but I tend to play very up close and personal in this ship here. And there's a very good reason for that, because this is actually a really agile battleship. And I don't even have an agile build on it here, but I have tried it with an agile build, and I tell you what, it turns on a dime. But no need to do that. It's better to have the build that I have here and then just make use of its natural ability to actually be very agile. And I will show you exactly how I use that in this battle here. Because as we get closer to the end, the agility really comes in handy. I still keep thinking that battleships and destroyers down here at the lower tiers or the mid tiers, this is like pretty much the breaking point between low and mid tier, tier 4, they have an advantage. I mean, cruisers down here at these tiers, they're just for target practice really. There's not really much you can do in a cruiser if you are, up against a good battleship player, because cruisers just get punished, and that's just the way it is. I mean, everybody loves to see an Omaha or like pretty much any cruiser when you're in a battleship down here, because yeah, it's just target practice really. The cruisers down here, they are not armored, they're not well armored, so you cannot really put up any sort of fight. You're always on the back foot, and I think that if agile cruisers had a place anywhere in the game, it would be down here at tier 3, 4, 5, because the damage output is just laughable. And compared to battleships, well, like cruisers, they have a really tough time. And you don't have radars, so destroyers can just run amok, and of course that's bad for battleships, but it's equally bad for cruisers. So yeah, cruiser play at tier 3, 4, and 5 is really not a lot of fun, I think. As this Phoenix here is finding out, it's just like if you get hit by a battleship shell, you will get citadeled, pretty much no matter what. And I mean, battleship play doesn't really change at all if you're playing at tier 4 or tier 7 or legendary tier. It's pretty much the same approach. Just shoot the enemy. But wow, there's a lot more nuance to cruiser play, especially when you get up into the higher tiers. As you can see there, like what are cruisers supposed to do down here? I don't get it. Battleship have it way too easy down here, and yeah, especially if you have this battleship here, which is the best tier 4 battleship. This thing can hold its own in tier 5, 6, I think. It's just awesome. It's very accurate, and it's very, very painful, and the penetration is excellent. Reload is a bit long. I have mine at 30 seconds, so that's of course longer than at tier 7 and the higher tiers. But like the way you can just sit in a spot like this and just pummel cruisers, and there is absolutely nothing they can do about it. I mean, this Omaha is trying to burn me, but I mean, this is no Cleveland, and I don't care at all. It doesn't matter at all what this guy here does. He's going to die no matter what is going to happen, because he's in an Omaha and I'm in a Cesare. It's just not fair. Well, it wouldn't matter which battleship I was in, I would just pummel this guy. So 2 destroyers down, and we have a naughty Isokase here. And this guy here is good. I played with him before, and as you can see, I'm not panicking here. Yeah, there's a destroyer, but yeah, there's probably torps on the way, but let's not be rash. I mean, I'm spotting him. I'm assuming I'm spotting him right now. I think my destroyer is in smoke, so it would be good if he took shots at him, which he's doing. So let's try to use you know, these 20 seconds here to the best of our ability. Now I am, you know, I'm not spotting him anymore, and he torped my destroyer. So, well, yeah, no point hanging around here anymore. And now he's trying to set me on fire. So it looks like we've lost the B cap here. Well, we haven't lost it, but I can't really push in with that destroyer over there. So instead, I'm going to see if I can't secure the A cap here instead. And, you know, I think I say that in all my battleship videos. I mean, yes, if you happen to see a destroyer, there's no need to panic. I see it all the time. As soon as the destroyer is spotted, the battleships just, you know, pull up their tents and head for the border or somewhere where they just put themselves completely out of influence on the battle. And I mean, that's wrong, especially down here at the lower tiers where, I mean, let's get real here. You're not facing shimakazes down here. So if you take a few torpedoes for the good of the team, well, that's fine. You just have to live with that. Actually, I would say that's a requirement for playing battleships. Because if you refuse to take torpedoes, then you're pretty much limiting yourself to positions that are without any sort of influence on the gameplay. And when it comes to torpedo avoidance, there's no better battleship than this one here. Because look how I'm turning here. It's very difficult to hit this thing here with torpedoes. And as I say that, I eat a torpedo, but as I said, it's just one. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's the same damage as about like a messy salvo, like 1 or 2 hits or something. And I don't see battleships going out of their way to, you know, completely stay out of range of other battleships. No. As long as you're not broadside on to a destroyer, and as long as you know roughly where they are, there's nothing stopping you from actually taking them on in a battleship, especially down here at the lower tiers. And if you can outmaneuver them, which is quite easy actually in a battleship, you just have to change your direction once in a while, and that's it. That's it. If you try to torp a good battleship player yourself, you know how difficult it can be. If they know your approximate direction, and of course which destroyer you're in, and all those sort of variables, then you know pretty much the reload time on the torps, so you can time your turns accordingly. Of course, yes, it requires knowledge of the game, but really, it's not that hard. So our DD has taken B, that's excellent, and I'm pushing in here to keep the Okhotnik out of the A cap. And we get a very nice shot at the Wyoming here. I think he's AFK actually, but that doesn't matter. He gets a very nice AP salvo in a minute anyway. So here, there's a destroyer, yes, and it's a destroyer with a lot of torpedoes, yes. But it doesn't mean that you have to run away. Just go bow in, and then when you get an opportunity to actually, you know, be a nasty battleship, then you take it. And I know I'll probably go unspotted in a very little time. So we'll just take this very nice AP salvo here at the Wyoming, and this is where Cesare just shines. So we're going to pretty much remove this guy. I know he's AFK, but anyway. So, like I said, the Okhotnik, I didn't go unspotted like I thought, but I managed to actually still cap and keep him at a spot where he can't really do anything about it. Because I'm still close enough, so if he enters the cap, I will spot him. So keep that in mind. If you go too far away from these destroyers here, like, you won't be able to spot them when they actually do something you don't want them to do, like this. Because obviously this guy wants to head in here and keep me from capping. And I'm not the one spotting him right now, but I am close enough that should he come around the corner, I will keep him spotted. And as long as you're just prepared and you're thinking ahead and not, you know, acting in a rash way in your battleships, you can take on destroyers no problem. So it looks like he is gonna go for the Leroy Jenkins here, and he's going to regret that, and he's gone. So I can now take the A cap here, but I'm still spotted. So that means that naughty player is still around in the Japanese destroyer, and he's keeping an eye on me. And this guy has just had a field day. I think he has a Kraken by now and lots of medals. So obviously I cannot let this guy escape, because if I let him escape, he's going to win this battle. There's still nearly 6 minutes left. He's obviously a good player, and he's almost single-handedly removed my whole team. So, although we have all 3 caps, we cannot allow this guy to escape, because we are almost equal on points. And now I'm just going to use the agility of this battleship here to its fullest, because I know where he is, roughly. And I'm bow on, and as long as I keep my wits about me, I should be able to push this guy far away from the A cap, because we still have a destroyer left. So as long as this destroyer is alive and we are well ahead on points, we should be able to win this battle here. So here we take a few torpedoes. Meh, that's okay, doesn't matter. And he happens to get within range, and he is now spotted. So that means we can push him even further away. That's perfect, because like, it would be nice to have the destroyer over here to help me spot, but it's not necessary. At this point, all I want to do is get this guy as far away from the middle of the map as possible, because if we keep A and B cap, we're going to win. So instead he's going to say, okay, well, I'm going to go for the C cap then. And that's fine, because that's going to take him a minute to cap, and I can probably reset him a little bit while he's doing it. So he's just going to waste time doing that, and that's the Confederate there, and we did reset him. So once he's finished doing this, there will be 3 minutes left of the game. It'll take him a minute to get to the A cap, it'll take him a minute to cap the A cap, and we're already ahead by 150 points. So at this point, well, he can't win. Even if he sinks me, which at this point I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna sink me sooner or later. But as you can see, just be, tricky with your turning, and just, yeah, use your ship to the best of its ability. And like I said in the beginning, if you try to torp a good battleship player, you know how difficult it can be. And just make a plan and stick to it, really. So earlier I think I did ask for intelligence data, but at this point here, I want the destroyer to run away, go to the B cap or something, get far away from here, and just wait it out. But I don't know if because I said so or whatever, but he's over here, and obviously that's not the best thing, because if we both get sunk, then it's game over. And it's an Isokaze here, and like I said, this player is obviously good. He knows what he's doing, and like I said, I played with him before, and I know he's good. So I'm just so worried that the destroyer is going to eat a torpedo here, and he's very close. I eat one, that's fine. Like I said, doesn't matter. In a battleship, you're going to take torpedoes, and yeah, nice. But he actually manages to torp the other destroyer. But like, let's be honest here. Going over here as the destroyer was not the best play. Just stick around at A, or retreat to B, because like I said, we were going to win on points anyway. There was no need to do this. It did help me out, yes, but I would gladly have sacrificed my ship over here, because there would have been 2.5 minutes left, and it would not have been enough to make any dent in what's going to happen here. So that's the point of this video here, really. Like, you can push destroyers in battleship, and you can be successful. I would almost say one of the worst things you can do is run away from a destroyer, lose spot, and lose your idea of where the destroyer is. It's probably better actually to sit still in most cases. There are exceptions to that rule, of course, a Shimakaze, well, but yeah. That's up at legendary tier, and yeah, if you're getting incoming torps from that one, well, if it's a good player, it doesn't really matter what you do, you are sunk. So if you play battleships, don't be afraid of taking a few torpedoes once in a while. It's certainly a better move than being so scared of torpedoes that you never take any torpedoes, and you are, confining yourself to areas of the map where you're useless, pretty much. Sure, it's been a risky game, this one, absolutely. But with such a good destroyer player on the other team, you have to be aggressive. You have to take chances, and you have to, make a plan or a strategy that, okay, this guy is so good that if I let him live, we're going to lose. So in any case, you're going to lose. So why not try to actually use your skills as a better player to take out the other better player. Instead of just, turning tail and running away in a battleship and then taking yourself out of the game and you lose track of where the destroyer is, and the destroyer can just cap at will, really. That's my opinion, and I know it's easier said than done, but in general terms, it's the right play. The only thing I didn't, make a note of in this battle here was that my destroyer was going to head all the way over to help me and then just get torped by the other destroyer. If he hadn't torped that red destroyer, then we would have been in trouble here. But luckily he did, but that was not a good play. So you cannot, predict everything, especially not in this game. Anyway, that was it. 2600 XP, high caliber, Confederate, and Dreadnought. So look at that Isokaze over there. Kraken, high caliber, and Confederate. Good guy. Very nice. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. See you out there.